There's a quote in your book talking about it was the Obama portrait and sort of how, people were responding, because it's painted against this lush greenery and, the right wing is apoplectic about it. But the Simpsons fans are sort of responding with Homer in the bushes from Homer Loves Flanders. And you said, this is why The Simpsons' heyday is relevant today. It shaped the way an entire generation of smart people processes the world. And I think that's absolutely correct. It has reformatted our brains in such a way.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but I think there are two kinds of great TV shows or great works of art. You have the water cooler TV show, which is something you watch, and then the next day you talk about it with your friends at work, sort of what happened, the plot, things like that, like Sopranos or Mad Men, which is a whole, it's a great thing about sort of the prestige TV era. But The Simpsons was different. It was more, I would call it like a secret handshake show. So it's a show that you can bond with people over. So you meet someone, they reference The Simpsons, and both your eyes light up, and you have a moment of connection that, like, it just doesn't exist with other TV shows.
Yeah, and I think especially for our generational cohort, it was like consuming it regularly pre Simpsons World, pre Disney Plus. It was like for me, it was, oh, it's on at I think 6:30 and 7:30 on Fox 35. So it was like I gotta block out that time and just consume it, consume the reruns 5 days a week. And I mean, by the time it was available on streaming or DVD, I had those memorized chapter and verse anyways. And I think so many of us did.
Yeah, and I think the idea of syndication is something that people who are a little younger than us should know about because, like, again, like you said, in around 1994, they started playing 2 episodes a day, like on the Fox affiliates. And that's what really, like, gets it in your brain when you can repeat watch. Like, when we were young, you missed an episode and you maybe could catch it on reruns, but it was very rare unless, you had a friend who recorded it on VHS, which, was sort of like passing around like dog-eared paperbacks at the time, like these tapes. But syndication is what really like drove it into this new stratosphere of, knowing the show from front to back.
You just heard a clip from the most recent episode of the History on Film podcast. For more of this episode and access to all our episodes, search for the History on Film podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel here on YouTube. Thanks for listening.